All right, guys, welcome to another episode. I'm Orlando.
And I'm Omar,
We're the Smart Bros.
and this is the Smart Take.
All right, guys, we're back with another episode. We just had our game against the Carolina Panthers this past week on Sunday, and then we got the quick turnaround with Thanksgiving game on Thursday against the Washington Commanders. So we're not even going to hesitate too much to get right back in it. So that Panthers game just finishing. How do you feel about that?
It was pretty much what I expected. I wish, for Dak's numbers or for CD's numbers that we could start playing some of these fourth quarters, but I'm 100% okay with them being, sitting fourth quarter just because it just gives them more rest, gets them more prepared, prevents injuries. So it's like, and hopefully that goes into account when people are voting at the end of the year for things like MVP, but you never know. But overall, felt pretty good. So let me just go and get into my predictions. I said Dak for 290 and 3 touchdowns. He only had 189 and 2 touchdowns. It was just, like I said, didn't I feel like we threw it a lot, but like they tried to take away our we used to take away our run game and make Dak pass. I feel like they're trying to take our passing game away now and make us run. Because I feel like they were just scheming against CD, doubling him and things like that. I said CD for 85 and a touchdown. He had 38 and a touchdown. And this is all based on, we didn't need him to go crazy because I feel like if we needed him, we would probably got him a little bit more involved. But it was one of those games where not much was needed. I said Cook for 55 and a touchdown. He didn't have a touchdown, but he had 42 yards. So I wasn't too far off. I said Gallup for 50. He only had 31. I said a tight end touchdown, which if the tight ends catch that seam route, that's almost guaranteed touchdown in the game. Shoemaker caught it this time. And then I said TP for 65 and a touchdown. He had 61 yards and a touchdown. He finally had some good runs. His touchdown was a mean run. It was one of those like vintage Tony Pollard runs, broke with some tackles, running hard, right up the middle. So I was a fan of that for sure. And then I said, I don't know why I went with this, but I said Michael for a sack and a half. He overshot that, got 2.5 sacks. He started the game off very hot. I thought we'd have 4 sacks overall. We had 5, so that's pretty good. I thought we would have a pick. Deron Bland had a pick. He got a pick 6. Shout out Deron Bland. That was a great pick because he undercut that crossing route, which that's why I like when he's on the faster guys because don't get me wrong, I like Gilly, but he's maybe lost a step a little bit. So it's hard to guard those crossing routes, but those when you're young guys, when you're fast, those are the kind of routes that you like. So I'd rather him guard those crosser routes or like receiver ones or whatever. So yeah, he got a pick 6. He's tied for the most in NFL history with 4 right now. So hopefully he can break that record this year. He has 6 overall. He's playing at an all-pro level at the moment. So hopefully he continues that. I had with a forced fumble, and I thought I thought we would get a forced fumble. I didn't know who would get it, but Jordan Lewis ended up getting that forced fumble. And our safety, Donovan Wilson, ended up picking it up. So shout out them. And I think Jordan Lewis needed that for his confidence because it seemed like he just wasn't having a good game at the beginning of the game. He seemed to have given up first downs on third and however many. And so, but that's why Trayvon Diggs going down hurts that much more because we're going to have the interception leader in the league right now is our CB3 instead of our CB2, which makes Jordan Lewis our CB3. But, it is what it is. Still came out with the win. And I thought we would win 40-16, but we ended up winning 33-10. So, not too far off, 7 points here or there, 6 points here and there. So it was, like I said, overall, pretty happy with the game. It was one of those games where not much needed to happen, but yeah, how'd you feel?
I mean, yeah, obviously happy with the win. Solid, kind of pretty much across the board. I mean, in my opinion, it's probably our least exciting game all year, other than Tony Pollard's touchdown and then Deron Bland's pick 6. Nothing was just kind of like blowing us out of the water. Micah did have 2.5 sacks, which is, I mean, very good for him. He tied for the most in his career in one game, so that's good for him. But I mean, even that isn't as like just wowing to us at this point because we're just used to him being dominant like that. So I mean, it's can be upset with winning a game like that. The team is 1-9. The team Like you said, obviously, it would have been a little bit better had we kind of got Dak some of those stats and CD some of those stats, just because I think in there and when it comes to those two, winning obviously is what matters the most, but they're playing at a level which would have them competing for awards at the end of the year. So, and these games are really going to count. Stats are definitely going to play a part in that. So I would want those guys to kind of get the stats if they can, but if they don't, it's not the end of the world, especially if we're winning. But getting into my predictions, I predicted that Dak would throw for 370 and 4 touchdowns. Like obviously he did not. You already said he threw for 189, 2 touchdowns. I thought that Tony Pollard would have 100 yards, over 100 yards in a touchdown. He got the touchdown, didn't have over 100 yards, but
Yeah,
I mean, it was like you said, it's good to see him get back in the end zone. Good to see him running hard. Good to see him breaking tackles and getting back to that old Tony Pollard. So didn't have 100 yards, but happy to see him back to his getting back into his groove. Thought that CD would continue his streak of having over 150 yards, and I thought he'd have 150 plus and 2 touchdowns. He only had 38 yards and a touchdown. So glad to see him in the end zone, obviously, because those stats. And now I think if he had 1 or 2 more yards, 1 more yard, he'd be second by himself in receiving yards this year. But now him and AJ Brown are tied. So I think that is boding well for CD. With him being he's tied for second in yards, and I think he only has one less total touchdown because he's gotten into the end zone rushing the ball because he has more total yards than AJ Brown does.
for sure.
So, glad to see that. Thought we'd have a tight end touchdown. Obviously, always get that. Like you said, Shoemaker's the one who caught it this time. So, want to shout out him holding on to the ball, catching that because it was a good throw. He definitely took some hits at the end of that, and he went up and got it. So, definitely want to give him his props because I've been
For sure.
critical of Luke Shoemaker. So, definitely want to give
Very.
credit where credit is due. I thought that I had Micah's sack total right on the head. I predicted 2.5. He got 2.5.
He did.
Actually, honestly, 3. I think it was Jaron Curse who got his hand in there at the end and kind of played a role in that sack. So it took half of it away. But 2.5 isn't the worst. I think he's 3 sacks behind the leader, who I think is Myles Garrett, who's leading with 13 right now. So he's climbing up there with the sack totals. I thought we'd have 6 total sacks, and I was 1 away. We had 7. So, I mean, they exceeded my expectations. Props to them. Thought we'd have a forced fumble. You already mentioned that Jordan Lewis knocked it out. And I thought we'd have a Gilly pick, and we ended up having a Deron Bland pick.
Yeah, I thought Gilly too.
So I was off. I got the interception there. Just kind of picked up. My guess on who got it was wrong, but not the end of the world. And then I thought we would win 42-14, and we won 33-10. But also, like you said, our starters that in the fourth quarter, like they've done
For sure.
plenty of times this year, so that played a part in the score not being as much and their stats not being as well. But like you said, the team was 1-9, so is at the end of the day, it's good for us to be in that win column. And when it comes to people and their narratives, we're never going to make them happy. We've blown them out. Then of course, we're only beating up on bad teams. We barely
how that go.
win. We're in a dogfight with the bad team. If we lose, of course, that's the end of the world, and we suck, and we're at the playoffs. So obviously, no matter what, we're just gonna win how we win, and it's just gonna be that. But moving on, we're going to preview this upcoming game against the Washington Commanders. We have them at home on Thanksgiving. You know how the Cowboys, we're always going to, we literally always have the Thanksgiving game. That's America's team, but it's just tradition at this point. So what are your thoughts going into this game?
Well, first, I just want to say I pray that they don't make it harder than they have to, because you know how they get. Like last year on Thanksgiving, it felt like a game until like the very end, and it was like we shouldn't be in a dogfight right now with the Giants. So, but right now we've been clicking at home, so I have faith that they will go out there and do what we do, and like they said, they've been in the zone. So I'm still gonna not say we're crazy, but I think we still win very comfortably. I think Dak will throw for 285 and 3 touchdowns, or have 285 and 3 total touchdowns. He might end up running in one. Usually when he uses his legs, that's when we're at our best. I think CD will have 70 yards and a touchdown. I hope he gets back in the 100-yard, but I also feel like that they're going to try to take away CD because, I mean, that's what you should do. That's the number one receiver on the team. So logically speaking, make somebody else beat you. So I feel like that opens up Cooks and Gallup. I think Cooks will have 55, Gallup will 50, and then Gallup will get a touchdown. I think we'll have a tight end touchdown, of course. And I think TP will have another like 60-yard game with a touchdown. Hopefully. And so, yeah, that's how I feel. I think Michael will get another sack and a half just because I think he could probably get two, but I feel like he'll get assisted on one of them or like he'll be assisted somebody else. I think we'll get two picks because Sam Howell he's the most hit QB in the league, most sack QB in the league. So they don't have that much time to throw it. And so I feel like he's going to be throwing up some, when they get the ball out quick, that's when our back line, that's when they get the most picks and things like that. So I think we'll get 2 overall picks. I think we'll have 6 overall sacks. So like I said, most sack team in the league, and we're one of the best pass rushers in the league. So if we get them in those 3rd and long situations, that just helps our defense, helps that pass rush, and that helps people, the back line, get the picks. So, and I think we'll have a defensive touchdown. I don't know if it'll be a fumble recovery touchdown or a block punt touchdown or a pick 6, but I think we will have a defensive touchdown. And I think we'll win 42-17. How about you?
So going into it, it's obviously a game we're expecting to win. We're the better team. While the Commanders, they gave the Eagles some trouble, but I feel like those have kind of been the only games that they've looked like a competitive team that is with like a playoff caliber team. So obviously expecting us to win going in, but not expecting them to just fold over. I know that Sam Howell he's leading the league in passing yards right now, so they're having no problem airing the ball out. I think that
and they trust him, so
obviously I think that Terry McLaurin knows how his games normally go when Trayvon Diggs is playing, and without Trayvon Diggs, I feel like he's definitely going to be looking to get his numbers up against the Cowboys because his numbers against the Cowboys have been bad since number 7's been in the league, or since 27
20.
league, I should say.
I'll give him that. His phrase when he was 27, that's when he rocked the baby on him. They were talking mess back and forth. But since that 2 got off, I'm talking about he hates seeing 7. If 7, I think since he's changed to 7, he has more catches than Terry McLaurin does against him, and he plays defense. That's how you know what's going on. Trayvon Diggs doesn't mess around when it comes to Terry McLaurin. I don't think don't get me wrong, he loves guard receiver 1, but I truly don't know if there's a receiver 1 he guard better than Terry McLaurin. I don't know.
He completely shuts him down every single time.
Literally, like it's almost like he's not even playing. Remember we went to that game and they tried to air it out first play. We were like, "What is wrong with them?"
That was like, he was leading the league in picks, going insane. I think that might have been his last pick of the year. So that was like number 11, and it was like literally first play of the game. Tried to bomb it on him, and he picked it off.
I'm talking about first play, but it's like, and we were like, "No way!" They tried to do that.
Right. And like I said, Trayvon Diggs isn't there. So I feel like Terry, the team, the coaches, everybody, they know the situation normally. So they're going to try to take advantage of that. But what they fail to realize, if that's their game plan, is that Deron Bland and Stephon Gilmore are here this year. So he's still going to have a hard time. He's still going to be seeing very good corners. But
for sure.
I just kind of think that's going to obviously the way they've been playing with Sam Howell leading the league in yards like that. They've been airing it out, so I don't think they would change that against us. But getting into my predictions, I actually think that with this game being on Thanksgiving, this would be the most watched game of the entire NFL. I think a good statistic number here for Dak, CD, for the guys that are, like I said, that are competing for those awards at the end of the year, I think will definitely boost their narrative. Even though the Commanders aren't the best team, everyone will be watching. So I'm predicting that Dak will have his season high in passing yards. I think he'll have 425 yards and 4 touchdowns. Think that Tony Pollard will have 75 yards and a touchdown. Think that CD will have 125 and a touchdown. Cooks 75 and a touchdown, Gallup 40 and a touchdown. I think our offense is definitely going to be clicking in this game. I think that we just didn't really need it in the last game, and I think the way Sam Howell tries to air the ball out, that they're not just going to have 0 points and completely be shut down. So I think it'll cause our offense to score a little more. And I think that moving over to no, obviously a tight end touchdown. Can't
Oh,
forget.
you can't. Yeah, you can't. You got to bet that over. Got to
Right.
bet that over.
And like you said, with Sam Howell being the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, I think that as a whole we'll have 7 sacks, with Micah getting 2 of those. And I think that we'll have a Gilly pick, and then I think the game will be kind of close early on. Well, they might put some points on the board, but eventually we'll pull away and end up winning 38-13.
No, yeah, that's pretty valid. I like that 425, because they're trying to make up. They're kind of I based on not last game, the game before that when CD needed his 150 yards. I've truly they are watching. You feel me?
Right.
They're watching to see what kind of stats people need, and they're like, well, Dak didn't have many stats last game just because of how the game went. So I feel like they're gonna try to get him back into the well, no, he's already top 5, but I think they're going to try to, boost his stats even higher. And I wish we kind of did stat pat like the people on Twitter and the people like the haters say. I wish we
Oh
did, because
wow.
if we did, then he would be up
He
there in passing
literally
yards, passing touch. He's literally said 6 quarters.
he said over a game and a half worth of minutes in terms of like minutes missed. If he would be playing the entire game like the majority of these elite quarterbacks while they're in these dog fights with these terrible teams that we're blowing out, he would be leading the league in every category.
Oh, for sure. And it wouldn't be close actually, because based on how he's playing before we sit him, why there's nothing that shows that would stop. So that being said, I agree. He would 100% be like just leading those, because he's locked in right now, and when him and CD get rolling, there's not much people can do, because like they seem like they're attached at the hip on the sideline, and they seem like they talk a lot, and there's a lot of chemistry in that locker room. So man, that's a testament to their offseason preparation, and so I'm really excited to see what they can continue to do. And it's funny because at the beginning of the season, I was thinking, man, like the CD just seems like he might not want to come back just because for some and I wasn't blaming Dak, I was blaming Mike McCarthy because he wasn't getting CD involved enough. But lately, since after the 49ers game, he's been the focal point of our offense, and as he should be, and good things have happened.
I agree 100%. And like you said, I'm excited for this game coming up this Thursday. Thanksgiving game is always exciting. This will be the first Thanksgiving game we haven't been in attendance to in
it kind of feels weird.
Yeah, our parents are there, but we're not going this year. But
we're not going this year.
I mean, we've seen they're good when we're there. We've only seen them lose on Thanksgiving once. That was the year we lost to the Bills. That was just sickening. That was before.
It almost made us not want to go to a game next year. True statement.
100%.
But not that we were going to support, but we were like, oh yeah, man.
We don't know if we want to actually go to.
And then we didn't go in 2020 either because that was COVID. So.
Well, yeah, but yeah, no, that year we definitely always going to support, but going to the game was definitely in question.
Spending my money, my hard-earned money, hard ask.
Okay, hard ass, but we made it, and since then, I don't. That might have been the last time we watched the Cowboys lose.
Oh yeah, because we lost to the Raiders. We didn't go to that game.
No, we didn't.
When we played the Raiders that year,
I think that was a COVID year.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It was Bills 2019, yeah, then the Anthony Brown game and the Raiders.
But that makes me sick.
Since that Bills game, the games we've gone to, it's not only that they've been really good games. They were in terms for us. We blew out the Commanders one year. I mean, put up 50. Blew out the Falcons one year, put up 50. Thanksgiving game last year against the Giants, like you said, it started off kind of rough, so it was a little close, but we ended up pulling it out. So that's probably maybe the least exciting, but it was Thanksgiving, so it was nice.
Y'all should have saw it. He was so.
I was sick. Because the Giants aren't. I get very compassionate about the game when they're playing. I when things go bad, because normally in our past we're not a team that's able to turn things around. Once things are
we're good. If it's going good, it's going good. But boy, oh boy,
if it's bad, it's terrible. So And once things started kind of going the wrong way early, I get a little scared, but they were able to turn that one around. Same thing, and then the last game we went to was the Eagles on Christmas Eve last year, and it was the same thing. Dak threw that pick to start the game off. I almost had to leave the stadium. I don't know if I was going to be able to watch that game the rest if that was how it was going to go. But
And then when they took
that
those
man,
2 sacks before the 3rd and 30, I was, oh man, it's over.
yeah,
Not even that I didn't have faith, but no, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have faith.
like
Who assume they're gonna make a 3rd and 30?
right. T.Y. Hilton just joining the team.
First catch, only catch.
Literally, it wasn't until he caught the ball, was celebrating, like doing his thing, where I was like, "Oh wow, we got it!" Because that ball was even when the ball was in there, I was like, "I don't know about that." Ty, they have no chemistry. He just came and he converted, and like I said, Dak after that first pick completely turned that game around and winning for us. So definitely, I mean, so it's almost like we're kind of good luck since that Bills game. I don't know if that's I didn't.
Cowboys need
They
to
know
come get
that.
us.
I mean,
I'm not saying it, but it sounds like they need to come get us.
and it seems like once we're there, actually on the sidelines as well, they do pretty well because
Good things happen.
So I just want Jerry. I know you might watch. You're probably gonna watch this, so get us in the building, and we got you.
You already got Jimmy in the ring of honor. Come get us next. We're one phone call away. You feel me? You can get in contact with our people through your people. We can, we can be people. We can be people. You feel me? But all right, guys, that is another episode. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep sharing. So we'll come back with another video. We play the Seahawks after the Commanders, but first we got to get in the Commanders. Y'all are Cowboys. Y'all are stopping us from eating Thanksgiving on Thursday, so y'all better get a win. We eating on Friday, so I'm starving all day. You feel me? But take us out.
All right, I'm Orlando.
And I'm Omar.
We're the Smart Bros.
And this is the Smart Take.